Hello everyone and welcome to episode 108 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel as it's presenting Bushido 8. As for Pride of Sea, we still got, a couple more shows left of 2008. And I think this is going to be one of the better shows of the year, to be honest. I really love the card. Got a big time main event in Anderson Silva and Chuck Liddell. The rematch as, I think it's going to be a really fun card that hopefully is better than anticipated. As for, we only have 7 pieces of mail, as Rampage is wanting to fight Jeremy Horn. I mean, he would destroy Jeremy Horn, but we'll see if we can make that happen. As Alberto Crane extended him. Joaquim Hansen he cracked his tailbone during training. We extended Alan Goes and Stefan Bonner. And then Cyborg has joined Gracie Fusion after leaving Damian Maya Jiu-Jitsu after her loss to Vanessa Porto. As for the card here, as we only have about 7-8 more shows left of the year. It's not too bad. Not too bad. As our card: Anderson Silva versus Chuck Liddell, Frank Shamrock versus Talis. Talis has Mitsuhiro Ishida taking on Jose Aldo, Jeremy Horn, and Ronaldo Souza. Jacare Souza, which it's going to be a fun fight there. A lot of middleweight fights. 4 middleweight fights on this card. Chris Leben and Ronald Subrall, and an opener heavyweight fight: Alexia versus Fabricio Vardum, which should be pretty exciting. And then our prelims, which another heavyweight middleweight fight as Hydra Gracie against Ricardorona, which I'm a little nervous about that fight. Hopefully it works out. And then Kevin Randleman versus Rafael Carino, which Kevin Randleman, that's a tall task, trying to take out Rafael Carino. As for the analytics now, Chuck Liddell looking to make his first defense of his third reign of his middleweight title run here. As Anderson Silva, if he does win, though, he gets back his belt and also starts his second reign. And so back at Pride 31 Unbreakable in 2006, Anderson Silva won by split decision for the belt, as the two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, as Chuck is ranked second and Anderson Silva is ranked third. Obviously, that was back when it was still 2 rounds and not 3. So we'll see how that one plays out now that we have the extra round. This is the 12th time that Chuck Liddell's main event in a Pride event, the 6th time for Anderson Silva. Silva has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents, as Silva trains at Hus Valley Tudo, which Liddell has a little record of 0-1 against other current members of that team. Liddell's going to have a significant weight advantage again. He does have the Blurcat staff picks advantage as well, which is interesting. As for Anderson Silva, coming in 12-3-1 in Pride of Sea. His only losses have been to Murillo and then the draw with Rampage, also Frank Shamrock as well. You see there, he's had good fights across the board. He's had a couple of, had the average fight with Chuck, which I was, of course, back when the 2 rounds. But you see a lot of these fights, a lot of them had either went the distance back then and after the second round, or they have been finished in the second. There's, the Ron Fairclough knockout, and basically the first 30 seconds is a bit of the standard bearer, obviously, as far as from recent years here, the past couple of years, and also the Vitor Belfort knockout before the second round started. As, he's definitely someone, that middleweight division's tough as hell. He went on a pretty good run, though, after beating Chuck, beating Fairclough and Belfort, and then, Murillo won and started his run. But he just beat Alex Stiebling in November last year. He's been waiting a long time, basically a year time, to face Chuck Liddell, to face the Iceman. He's 10-6 in Pride of Sea. It's not looking good for Chuck there in 2006, losing every fight, and then 2007 came around, beat Dan Anderson, then shockingly beat Murillo at Pride 39 in the Rumble from Down Under to start the year off. Looking to avenge his loss against Anderson Silva, much like how he avenged his loss against Dan Henderson and Murillo Ninja Hua in the past. This is the redemption tour, really, for Chuck Liddell, and I think this is a great fight for both guys, really. Chuck's 38 years old and still, the middleweight champion of the world. I would probably back Anderson Silva, though, depending on the betting line. It's Frank Shamrock, Talis, as Talis has submitted 3 of his last 5 opponents, as he trains at Budokan Luta Libre, which Frank Shamrock is 1-1 against other members of that team. Talis is ranked 15th. Shamrock's ranked 17th. As Frank hasn't won since July of 06. It's been a 2-year losing streak. Talis has a 6-inch reach advantage, and this is also his Pride FC debut, but it looks like Frank's going to get the win, according to the Blurcat stat picks. That reach advantage is definitely going to play a factor, as, 3-fight losing streak. Frank's career in Pride FC pretty much on the line here, which, just as far as his past 7 fights, he's lost 6 of them, or he's lost, his last 6 fights, he's lost 5 of them, as not a great 2005, 2006, 2007 for him. Looking to bounce back in a big way, if he can. There he could still pull out some great performances out of people, so I think that's an exciting part for him. He's been waiting a year for this fight. It's basically a year. The last fight was in December. As then for Talis, he did pretty well in the UFC. He only lost to Merlio, which is funny, we didn't bring over Merlio. He's probably the one big name that was a part of the original Pride FC that we never brought in. It was kind of more of a perspective of not really thinking we needed him, really. He's lost to David Terrell and Merlio and Makoto Takamoto at KSW. We'll see how he does. Fighting in Brazil, you'd think that would help give him a little bit more incentive to get the win in his home country, plus the 6-inch reach advantage should play into a factor. The Endless Warrior, Mitsuhiro Ishida versus Jose Aldo. What a fight for Aldo here. He is 6-1, I think. He's 6-0 rather, as 6-0, undefeated, getting a big time opponent in Mitsuhiro Ishida. Ishida's ranked he's 10th in the world, like a top 10 in the world lightweight, 11th in Pride FC guy. That's a big opportunity for him. And you see that Ishida does have the Blurcat staff picks advantage, which makes sense, as Aldo's won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision. He's got one backer in Chris. Aldo's been a problem for sure, but this is definitely his toughest opponent yet. We'll see if he can answer the challenge in a big, big way and beat Mitsuhiro Ishida. It's Jeremy Gumby Horn versus Ronaldo Jacare Souza, as Jacare Souza's finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. He trains at Budokan Luta Livre. Has an overall record, Jeremy Horn does, against Budokan Luta Livre members of 0-2 against other members of that team. First time they have fought, as Jacare does have the advantage. Blurcat staff picks advantage. Jeremy Horn is not doing too well in Pride FC years. 8-9. He's got a losing record as a whole. There in the mid-2000s was not his year at all. And at least he finished out 2007 on a bit of a high note, beating Mario Sparrow and Shamrock. But losing to Fabio Maldonado, is probably going to get destroyed by Jacare Souza, which, Jacare, is going to come through the middleweight division, I think, like a buzzsaw. He's 5-0. He's been waiting a long time. He's had basically a fight every year, which is not a great kind of consistency for him. If he would have doubled that, if he would have fought twice a year, he'd be, either 10-0 or just have 10 fights under his belt, at least at this point. He's still, he's 28, so obviously still got a long time ahead of him, but I think he's just too skilled for Jeremy Horn. Standing-wise, on the ground-wise, I just feel like he's going to maul him. It's Chris Leben, Chris the Crippler Leben, taking on Ronald Subrall. Leben has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. Subrall is a significant weight advantage, as Leben is 7-0, as far as on the Blurcat staff picks. Even though Subrall's going to have a significant weight advantage, Chris Leben, obviously a tremendous stand-up guy, 4-2 in Pride FC, 7-3. After losing to Melvin Manhoff and Mark Hughes, been on the right track, even though it's been kind of on the lower end of guys. It's also still, it's so funny they got destroyed by Josh Rafferty, of course. And Nimad at UFC 58. It's tough because he's not really faced like tough guys. Like, it's probably toughest opponent is probably Mark Hughes. We'll see what he does here against Ronald Subrall, a guy who's actually been ranked, and a guy who's he's 8-9. He's fought some of the best guys. He's taken on guys like Dan Anderson, Merlio, Ninja Hua, Nate Marcotte, Vitor Belfort, not once but twice. He's beaten Vanderlei Silva too in the past. Scott Smith, Forrest Griffin, Glover Teixeira, like some pretty tough guys. And this is definitely a great opportunity for him as well to get back into, it'll be 20-9 rather, and then be 9-9 in Pride FC if he does get the win over Leben. As the Boa Constrictor, Alexia taking on Fabricio for Doom in our opener, and it's pretty close on the broadcast stat picks, as it's 4-3. Alexia has won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision. Fabricio Verdum, waiting for that kind of prime to hit for Fabricio Verdum. It should be right around this time, 2008. Really should be, should have been into the prime. After getting knocked out by Crow Cop at Pride 30, that was a big tough moment for him. Lost split decision to Don Fry too, which was tough. Went the distance with Czech Congo and lost in the first Brazilian Bushido card. Even lost to Tom Erickson too. It's just you figured his career would have went a little bit better, but in this mod it just has not been his the go of it here. But still a lot of time left really in his career here in Pride FC. We still got 2009 and 2010. I'm not exactly sure. I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was 2010 that we decided on ending the series, but it's basically whenever the actual MMA, why not the MMA, the Pride FC Hall of Fame is actually able to be done. That's kind of when we can be like, all right, we've done everything we can. But yeah, I mean, what a great opportunity for both guys, I think, really in this card. Because Linux, he is 19-9, 7-7 Pride FC. He just beat Hirotaka at Pride FC Worldwide 15 in March. He's also lost to Mirko Kokop. They both have that for them. But, as far as he's lost to Kazuki Fujita before, Heath Herring, of course, to give it Yvel Twister win. It's an all-time moment for the save. After that, was in M1 for a couple of fights, came back, and beat Don Fry. Lost to Mark Coleman, though, at Fist of Fire. Then beat Gary Goodrich and Don Fry, which, he does have a Don Fry win, which, obviously Fabricio Verdum could not get the job done over that, but both guys could use this win. And then the prelims, Hydra Gracie versus the Brazilian Tiger, Ricardorona, which Hydra Gracie making his Pride FC debut in Brazil on the prelim, as he's got the 5-inch reach advantage. Ricardorona is just basically waiting for him to slip up in a big way, because he's had just terrible performances after terrible performances throughout his time in Pride FC. Was really hoping Suzuki would have beat him there, but alas, he did not. And also he lost to Chael Sonnen, also beat him too, or lost to Chael Sonnen rather, as which sucks for Chael. And then of course losing to Shaka Souza, which it was a split decision performance though. So we'll see what happens with Hydra Grace here. We're hoping for a win. As far as, he is 1-0. He's only had one, didn't hit in negotiations, as he beat Anthony Bursch at MFC 38 back in May of 07. He got the rear naked choke win in just under 3 minutes. Then the monster, Kevin Randman, taking on Rafael Earthquake Carino. So Rafael Carino hasn't won since March of 05. A long time since he's been waiting for this win. As Rafael Carino, it's pretty close to the broadcast stat picks, which is crazy because Randleman, 5'10". I was thinking he was 5'11". 5'10". Just lost to Give It Yvel. Beat Naoya Ogawa back at April of 07. Knocked him out. It's crazy, he's had a pretty great run as of late, really, since basically the start of the mod. He's not had a bad fight yet, which is pretty awesome. I love Kevin Randleman. So that's great to see, even though he didn't have the greatest of runs here in the mod. But Rafael Carino, 6'8", a giant of a man, 10-4. Lost 3 straight though to Heath Herring, Tim Sylvia, and Frank Mir, which some tough guys there, and especially the Tim Sylvia fight, which Mega Bushido 12. We'll see what he can do. He's beaten guys like Ben Rothwell in the past, which is pretty crazy too. He's beaten Mike Russo at UFC 32. He's definitely talented enough to get a win here. Should be a pretty exciting prelim fight, and I think it could also be one of the better fights of the card. That plans out here is minus 160 to plus 120 for Rafael Carino and Kevin Randleman. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Columbus, Ohio, 13-11, 10-4, 35 years old, 6'8", 245, 5'10", 235, 37 years old for Kevin Randleman. It's wrestling style for Kevin Randleman, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for Rafael Carino. As this is gonna be an interesting one to see who has the advantage here. Herb Dean's our referee. Ringside judges says Carino just towering over Kevin Randleman. So, obviously fighting from a home crowd, which I believe everybody on this card, at least either one or both guys are fighting from a home crowd, so that's pretty exciting. This fight begins. Carino shoots in on Randleman. He's got the single leg. A few right hands to the body. Deflects a couple punches thrown from the bottom. Now it fires off a handful of punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. So deflects a couple punches thrown at the bottom now. And looking for a leg lock here. So Randleman keeps the guard tight, though. He's trying to catch Carino with a punch. It's off target, though. Again, looking for that leg lock. Remains the tight guard again. Leans back to avoid a couple of wild swings from Randleman from the bottom. As Carino fires away with Randleman. As just a couple of nasty-looking punches now. Clearly have hurt Kevin Randleman, which again, he's going for that leg lock. You figured he'd keep doing the ground and pound here since he was lighting him up there for a bit. But he's still just... Now he's just throwing punches to land him now. Just a little lay and pray. And keeps on going back to the leg lock. Throws out some punches again. Some more punches, each easily being blocked with gloves. As for the moment, Carino's just content to throw a couple of punches to the body. Throws out some punches to lean back to avoid a couple of wild swings again. Finally, the referee, Herveen, stands him up. Two fighters come together and strike. It's tentative, though. Nothing really comes of it. There's a quick punch from Randleman. As there's a punch from Randleman that fails to land. Again, strike exchange that does not produce anything. Again, Carino with the shoot. And he's got the takedown again. 2 for 2 on takedowns. So looking to pass guard, get side control. He passes, but it's only the half guard. Trying to get out of the half guard into a better position. As doesn't even bother going to side control. He just mounts him. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 heavy shots that are rocking him. I mean, this is looking to see if he's going to survive here. And he does. Kevin Randleman survives another round. I mean, this has been all Rafael Carino. Not great for Kevin Randleman, as, let's see how the second round starts, as seeing his opponent about to time in his shoot. Randleman timed it well and moved in to start the clinch. There we go, Kevin Randleman. Way to bounce back in the second here, trying to muscle up against ropes, but that's not happening. Now Carino's looking to muscle up against ropes. He does so. He's just too goddamn big for him. I mean, just Carino is, just mauling him at this rate, as Carino throws some more strikes, clearly just slowing things down. Trying to sweep him, but he can't. Halfway point in the second, throws a few right hands, takes a moment to plan ahead, blocks the sweep, trying to pass guard. He's too skilled for him, and he's from half guard to side control. Maybe, oh, looking for a Darce choke now. Doesn't allow the Darce choke to be applied, though. Blocking all these submissions so far. Some clean shots land to end out the round, as, yeah, definitely damaged him. Oh, wow. Damaged his hand. Wow, look at Rafael Carino. Probably may have potentially broke his hand. Maybe his, maybe a couple of fingers, but that's not a great second round to end out with. But, I mean, he's definitely done enough damage and has done enough to have won this fight. He's just got to survive at this rate. We'll see what happens in the third. And Carino can still take him down, even with a potentially broken hand, but he gets sprawled, gets pushed down to his hands and knees. Fires away now with punches as Randleman, does little in the way of damage, though, and Carino gets quickly back up to his feet. Randleman's definitely breathing a little deeper now, so is Carino. As now 2 fighters come together and start wrestling, as Carino is the aggressor looking for a trip. And Randleman gets taken down quickly with an inside leg trip. Looking to get side control, and then he's got mount. Boy. Boy, oh boy. 3 minutes of mount. This is not going to go well for Kevin Randleman. It's unable to land many clean shots, though, and then there's a couple of nasty-looking punches. Second half part of the round here, as Carino fires away and stuns him with several big shots. Tries to pound on Randleman again, but all the blows come dealt with, trying to move Carino out of guard, but he can't. Loads some right hands again, but Randleman deals with him comfortably, trying to block him on the sweep. As, I mean, fair fucks for Kevin Randleman to survive a lot of this, as now he's trying to shrimp his way out of mount, but Carino shuts that opportunity down again. None of the blows land any degree of power, and again, he's just going to stop him before he can get out of the mount. Big win for Rafael Carino, 11-4 now. 13-12 for Kevin Randleman, pouring one out for him. Well, it was a decent fight, but obviously completely one-sided. As Rafael Carino gives a name check to everyone at Novo Unio, as his various sponsors, all of his friends, family, and supporters, as he says it was a tough fight and gives a show of respect to Kevin Randleman. So now our last prelim fight, Hydra Gracie taking on the Brazilian Tiger Ricardorona, as 1-0, 9-7, minus 110 for Hydra Gracie, who's SPG Ireland, not even in a, like, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, not even with Henzo or anything. Damon Maya Jiu-Jitsu for Ricardorona. Obviously, both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, both Brazilians. Hydra Gracie, 6'4", 205. It's interesting because obviously he's not going to try to, like, outstrike anybody, but I'm assuming he's got a longer reach. I think he's, a 5-6 inch reach advantage over Ricardorona, but I think for a lot of the middleweights, that he's going to face. He's going to be, mostly the taller guy for most of those fights. So, I mean, it could play into a factor for sure. If there's ever going to be a Gracie that's going to dominate in a mod, or in this mod specifically, I just got a really good shot, I think. We'll see. We shall see. It's gonna. If he loses to Ricardorona, though, he's fucked. As Mark Goddard's a referee, ringside judges. The crowd's buzzing during the entrances. Two local fighters here. As round one begins, they touch gloves. Gracie gets close to them, clinches with him, trying to push him against the ropes. He does so. Looking for the trip. Doesn't work, though. Looking for the trip again. This time he's got it. Sweeps the leg. Pounds away with some body punches. Has to lean back to avoid a couple of wide swings from Rona from the bottom, trying to pass guard. And the scramble begins. So Rona's trying to get up first. As he's up first, but he's quickly grappled up against the ropes. Looking for the trip. Another inside leg trip from Gracie. As he fires off a few punches, they're throwing the great force, trying to scramble. But make sure that does not happen. That was Gracie. Could feel that one coming as Gracie's content to throw a couple punches to the body again. As another separation. As another scramble. But Gracie again sees that opportunity. Gets side control instead. As Gracie throws a few right hands, mainly just trying to catch his breath. Rona trying to pull guard on Gracie. Doesn't get anywhere with it, though. Looking for an armbar. Defends himself well. As looking for an Americana now. Rona blocks that as well. Blocks it to pull guard. I mean, who would have guessed it? We finally got our Gracie that's going to dominate people. As Rona tries to transition guard. It only took 8 years, but we finally got it. As he can't quite manage it. As Gracie fires off a few punches. They're on the great force. So he blocks him again. Tries to transition the guard. They're standing back up now. As Gracie steps in, works his way into a down position to clinch. Trying to muscle up against Ropes. He does so again. I mean, he is just... so many outside and inside leg trips here. This one's an outside low one as he's now left on his back pulling guard. Throws a few weak-looking punches, trying to scramble again, but he's just going to grab side control again. Some 3 quick elbows in quick succession. Doesn't do much damage, though, and ends out the round on top. Yeah, just all Hydra Gracie back into the second round as Hydra gets in close, clinches with him, trying to muscle up against the ropes. He does so. Looking for another sweep. Another outside leg trip. Inside control, too. Blocks it. Rona tries to transition the guard. Those are some small strikes. Clearly just taking a moment to catch his breath. Trying to pull guard on Gracie again, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempts. Inside control, Gracie catches his breath. Content just to throw a couple punches to the body. So he blocks attempt to pull guard there. Fires off some punches again. Blocks Rona as he tries to transition the guard. They stand back up with a minute 45 as moving in fast, Gracie wrestles way into a down position to clinch it yet again. Oh, it gets out wrestled though. Let's see what Rona can do. Looking for this. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. He's inside control. There's 36 seconds left. Rona with some punches now, trying to move the guard, but Rona doesn't allow it. And there's a knee strike to the ribs, but Gracie is able to unbalance him, so he's able to, and not enough power behind it really. So at least he got something going around there for Ricardorona, end out the second. But definitely Hydra is in, he's won the first and second. Ricardorona's going to have to finish if he wants to win this one. But yep, another snoozer though in that second. See what happens in the third. Gracie steps in, working his way into a down position to clinch, looking to muscle him up against ropes. He does so. Rona's looking to muscle him up against ropes, though, rather, and he does so. So never mind. As looking for the trip. Wow. Look at Ricardorona here. Got the trip, looking for a knee strike to the ribs. But he gets caught, though. As soon as he was off balance, Gracie bursts into life, and the scramble begins as Rona's up first, and only to be quickly grabbed up against the ropes. Now Gracie's looking for the trip, and now he's got him down inside control, looking for mount, and the scramble begins. As Rona's now under Gracie's north-south control, looking to slide into side control. As trying to move the guard, but he's off target. Fires with some punches, throwing thing great force, looking for an armbar. That gets fought off again, trying to move the guard. Gracie doesn't allow it, some elbows again. But yeah, I mean, Hydra Gracie gets his win in his debut here in Pride FC, beating Ricardorona. At least it was a decent fight too, making it 2-0. That's a big win for him. Big win for the Gracie clan, which, I mean, then again, we are talking about, like, wow, he was dominating Ricardorona for most of the fight. It is Ricardorona. He's on the lower end of the middleweight scale. Once he actually takes on some probably tough challengers and guys that can actually stand up with him, he'll probably be exposed. But at least for right now, the Gracie clan get a win in Brazil at Brazilian Bushido 8. as he gives an entry over in SPG Ireland. All of his favorite sponsors, all of his friends' favorite sports. Just so funny, and being in SPG Ireland. Visibly delighted, Hydra Gracie celebrates starting his Pride career with a win. Now we have the opener as the Boa Constrictor, Alexia taking on the Fabricio Vardum, 19-9, 4-4. Moscow, Russia, Porto Alegre, Free Brazil, as Budokan Luta Livre, Red Devil Sport, -180 for Fabricio Vardum. Sambo Judo style, of course, for Olenek, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style for Fabricio Vardum. Herb Dean's our referee again. Our judges at ringside. As Vardum gets a big reaction from the crowd. Underway now, they touch gloves. There's a 1-2 from Vardum, but Alexia eagles it, and also comes in and clinches with him, trying to take him down. Doesn't happen, though, as Vardum now wrestles way into control and grapple. Oh, looking to drag him down into the guard here. Wow, he's got him. Sucked him down into the guard. Now I'm trying to sweep. Not happening, though. Oh, Alexia, I mean, that is a dangerous game, though, because, I mean, Alexi's obviously pretty dangerous on the ground. So to have him give up control like that might not have been worth it. There's a few right hands to the body, and some more relatively weak-looking punches. Oh, there's an elbow strike off the side of the head, though. Glancing shot, as he keeps him guessing a few quick strikes. There's a sharp, short shoulder smash to the face of Vardum now. Again, working on the bottom, clips him with an elbow again. Another short, sharp shoulder smash to the face. Oh, looking for an arm from the bottom. Oh, looks like not only defends it, but also gets to side control. What a good job there by Alexia Olenek. Again, I mean, that's just, you're playing into his strengths really when you suck him down to the guard. As Alexia can tent throw a couple punches to the body, and now brings his legs into a trap. Oh, he's back in the half guard. What a fucking... I mean, this has been pretty, quite the stalemate here of two tremendous ground grapplers here, as Alexia Olenek fires off a few punches trying to catch his breath, blocks an attempt to move from half guard to full guard, pounds away, but Vardum isn't troubled by the strikes, trying to transition from half guard to full guard. And there's another short, sharp shoulder smash to Vardum. Drags him in close, couple short punches there from Vardum from the bottom. There's a few right hands to the body, looking to try to get an arm again. Alexia Olenek defends it. He's slowing things down so he can slow things down so he can get his breath. Looking for another arm from the bottom. And again, he does it again where he not only stops it, but also gets side control out of it. Looking to catch his breath again. Alexia Olenek throws a couple punches to the body. Tries to transition to half guard. Looking to catch his breath. Alexia Olenek is content to just throw a couple punches to the body. Begins trying to get his leg free out of half guard. Vardum was ready for the pass attempt and starts to scramble immediately. Manages to come out on top. Alexia Olenek pulls half guard. Verdum pounds away with rights, but fails to land anything significant. Tries to pound on Olenek, but none of the blows land anything degree of power. That's the end of the first round. I mean, it's a tough round to really gauge. Definitely Alexi, because he was in control for a lot of it, thanks to getting sucked into the guard, and he did the pass, too, and landed the most strikes. But at least Vardum, I think, he might catch him with a submission here in the second or the third, if he keeps on doing his thing. But, yeah, I mean, that's a tough round to lose, though, at the same time. We'll see what happens when they stand up again. As Alexia Olenek starting off the second look to try to get in close, but Vardum took the initiative. There's the left hand and the big right is avoided. Looking to move in closer again, as Alexia Olenek appeared to try to get in close, but again, Vardum has taken the initiative. 1-2, it doesn't hit either of them, though. There's a punch, but Alexia Olenek was equal to it. Now grabs him into a clinch. Looking to wrestle him down. Blocks that attempt, also takes control, looking for the trip. And another, this time a takedown, though it actually counts, as Vardum sweeps him down. Looking to pass half guard. And he's just stuck there now. Fires off a few punches. Halfway point in the second, looking to get past it again, and Alexia Olenek ends up scrambling for a position. As always, going to grab him up against the ropes again as Vardum, as he's knee strike to the thigh, but it gets blocked, as looking to trip him down again. Another nice inside leg trip. Attempts to pass half guard, and another scramble, as Olenek's up first, but he gets grabbed from behind with a waist lock. Looking to try and take him down again. And wow, just a third takedown. I mean, he keeps on getting back up. Another scramble, as I say that, as Vardum ends up having to pull guard, losing out on the scramble to end out the round. But, I mean, Vardum, he couldn't keep him down, but he just kept on taking him down. So, I mean, that's an easy win for him in the second. Could be an interesting one here in the third, as Alexia Olenek, it looked like he was angling for a grapple, but couldn't take the initiative. 1-2, but Alexia Olenek avoids both of them, as there's another 1-2, but doesn't land either blow. Now Alexia gets a hold of him without taking one shot while coming in, looking for the trip takedown. Again, Vardum stops it, takes control of it. Looking to suck him down to the guard. That's a mistake. He's going to get it, but man, if he would have took him down, I would have been all sure. But look for a sweep from the bottom. Wow. never mind, as that's crazy. Elevator sweep actually works. Results of the fighter scrambling as Lennox is being on his back now, so he ends up losing out on that scramble. There's some elbows. There's little in the way of damage. Looking to pass in the side control, but can't get it out of guard. Yeah, I mean, Vardum knows he's won this one, probably, which, interesting, but good thing Hurricane stands him up. Little fatigue's now creeping in for Alexia Olenek, so is Vardum. There's a left hand, but Olenek avoids the big right. Without taking too much damage, Alexia Olenek's able to clinch up with him. Looking for the trip takedowns on Lennox. That gets blocked. Looking for the trip. Great inside, like trip. Gets another takedown to really solidify that he won this fight. What a performance for Fabricio Vardum there. As, yeah, I mean, that was big. It was a big-time win. 5-4 now. 19-10 for Alexia Olenek. As, yeah, I mean, even though you'd see the strikes landed, that's all from that one round. 4 for 4 on takedowns. He destroyed him in the second and the third. Just, great job there by Fabricio Vardum as he gives a name check to everyone at Budokan Luta Libre, all of his favorite sponsors, all of his friends, family, and supporters. As we be an interesting fight next, he says he'd easily beat Seth Petrozelli. That's interesting, as he could guarantee to win under 5 minutes, too. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Seth Petrozelli, obviously a great stand-up guy, but definitely when it comes to grappling, probably not his strong suit, and that's obviously Fabricio Verdum's strong suit, so would be the classic striker versus grappler. And Chris Leben taking on Ronald Subrall. So our next one, 7-3, 19-9. See if another person becomes 19-10 on this card. It's Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Portland, Oregon. As so far at least, the Brazilians have been winning. See if it keeps the streak going. As yeah, it's not looking like it, as Leben's minus 260 on the betting lines. Plus 200 for Ronald Subrall, Budokan Luta Livre, Ricardo Almeida, Jiu-Jitsu, Boxing Jiu-Jitsu, Luta Livre Wrestling. As Herb Dean's a referee, ringside judges, as they both weighed in the same yesterday and during the weigh-in, but Subrall definitely clearly has a significant weight advantage now. Probably fighting around 215, 225. Subrall, again, unsurprisingly, gets a loud ovation from his crowd during his entrance, as the opening round. Leben steps forward looking to strike. There's a jab, but misses. Quick flurry from Leben, lands 3 of his 3 strikes with a nice straight left hand, too, to end it out. Confidently comes in closer. Can't up the step right jab, then hits the nice straight left hand. So, as Leben motions for Subrall to come on and fight, initiating a strike exchange. There's a pair of jabs in exchange from Subrall. Another jab and a left cross that lands hard. I mean, Leben, the way he keeps on landing those these southpaw strikes, he's going to end up knocking them out, I think. Leben comes forward, and the two fighters engage, as Subrall manages the counter jab. Right jab and a beautiful straight left again from Leben as they engage again. There's a left jab and also a kick to the lead leg from Subrall. Leben with a 5-strike combination into the left cross. Jesus Christ, just a boxing display there. They go toe-to-toe with strikes. The flurry ends without any really damaging shots. They stand and trade in the center of the ring. Neither fighter can give it or take any real damage. As Subrall may have been able to get in close, but Leben aggressively took the initiative as there's a right hand and Subrall hits the left hand. Both fighters come together and strikes. Subrall's off target with a pair of jabs, also misses the right hand. Leben misses the jab and has a left hand absorbed on the gloves. There's a jab and evades the big left. As there's a jab and a straight left from Leben. And the two fighters stand and trade strikes again. Neither can land a significant blow, though, as Leben again pressuring Subrall some more. 2 left hands in exchange, and there is, after missing the jab, falls up with a beautiful left uppercut that has knocked him out. Yeah, Chris Leben, really, I mean, just what he can do boxing-wise, he's going to be a problem for a lot of those wrestling ground guys. But then again, he lost to Mark Hughes when I thought he was going to be able to knock him out. But what a great performance, and stops the streak of the Brazilians getting the win at the Brazilian Bushido card. As, yeah, I mean, that's a great win for Chris. 8-3 now, 19-10. As, oh wow, Melvin Manhoof call out as he's wanting the rematch, meaning that he won't fight me because he knows that I'll win. Wow, after praising his team at Ricardo Almeida, Jiu-Jitsu is very responsible on the fans who came out and support him. As, yeah, that's awesome. As Jeremy Horn versus Ronaldo Jacare Souza. As yeah, Jacare looking to get that another win back for the Brazilians, going to make it 6-0. But Jeremy Horn, I mean, you'd think with that experience would play into some type of factor, but Jacare Souza's a savage, and he's going to show it here. Horn's going to beat down Jeremy Horn as Meltage Fighting Systems, Budokan Luta Livre, plus 220, minus 280 for Jacare Souza. Sardine again, our referee, ringside judges. Jacare gets a good reaction from the fans as he enters the arena. He's fighting from a home crowd tonight. So we are underway. Offer to touch gloves completely ignored by Jeremy Horn. Horn comes in looking to strike. As we looked like we were about to see some grappling started from Jacare Souza, but Horn is more aggressive, took the initiative. There's a 2-punch combo, but Jacare avoids both of them. There's a left hand. Punch from Horn fails to land. As Horn throws some strikes and a right head kick, but Jacare defends them all. As Souza appeared to be trying to get in close, but Horn again taking the initiative. Doing a great job being the underdog of pushing the tempo here. There's a left hand, but the big right hand falls up, misses. As he can't connect the step strikes, but then catches Jacare with the right hook. 1-2 from Jeremy Horn, fails to land, and now Jacare is able to seize that chance and grab him into a clinch, trying to muscle him against ropes. He does so. Looking for the trip. Outside leg trip sweeps him down. Now he's got his back, trying to get both hooks in. He can't. Trying to turn him over and sweep him, but he can't. Oh, and he's still blocking the hooks, trying to roll him over. As Horn doing a great job of surviving, blocking all these hooks. Trying to get the hooks in, but he keeps on getting blocked. As Block's attempt to roll him off his back as well. So they're just going to be at a stalemate, it looks like. No, and Horn actually does it. He turns Jacare over and gets free, and now they both end up scrambling back to their feet. As Horn throws a punch, but Jacare avoids it. Throws a quick punch, doesn't land it though. Jacare moves in fast and clinches with him, trying to muscle him against the ropes. He does so. Following another trip. Yep, it's another excellent outside leg trip. And he's left on his back in underside control. Fires off some punches, trying to catch his breath now. Horn tries to transition the guard, but he can't manage it. Jacare looking to get mount, as the attempted mount results in a scramble for position as Horn tries to avoid the danger. So Horn ends up scrambling, losing out in the scramble, trying to pass the guard. Can't fend off the effort there, as he can only stop Jacare at half guard. Half guard, Jacare catching his breath. Can then just to throw a couple punches to the body, blocks it from half guard to full guard, fires away with punches, does little in the way of damage, blocks Horn as he tries to transition to full guard to end out the first. Yeah, I mean, at least Jeremy Horn's doing a good job standing, but, I mean, it's just not enough. You know, Jacare, when he's able to get a hold of him, pretty much all she wrote for Jeremy Horn. He's not going to be able to stop him, really, for the most part. We'll see what happens in the second, though. Jacare warily circling his opponent, looking for the opening he needs to initiate some grappling. A combo that ended with a head kick attempt fails to land for Horn, and there's that opportunity he needed to get the... Oh, well, he gets stopped, though. So now Horn wrestling into a down position. Can't take him down either. So now Jacare back in control, looking for the sweep. Bit of a stalemate here. See what happens. Who's going to come out on top, trying to push him against the ropes. He does so. Now he's got him up against the ropes. Now he's got the sweep. Another one that's got him inside control, looking for Kimura. That gets blocked, trying to block the attempt to pull guard. Throws a few strikes that are out venom. Blocks Horn as he tries to transition the guard. Looking for mount now. Desperately tries to fight off the mount attempt, and now they scramble as Jacare ends up on the bottom with Horn inside control. And now looking for Kimura from Jeremy Horn. That would have been crazy. As Jacare looking to bring his legs in to trap him in half guard. As, wow, look at Jeremy Horn loading some right hands, but not able, and he deals with them comfortably, though. But yeah, I mean, I think another round won by Jacare Souza. Even though it's not the prettiest, though, I mean, Jeremy Horn did a great job of being able to scramble, end up on top, and land more strikes, but it's a pretty close, though. Pretty close one in that second, but I'd probably give it to Jacare Souza in the third round. 1-2 from Horn. Souza was equal to it, rather. He's now able to clinch him up. He's got him, looking to sweep him. He's got him again, and he's left on his back, pulling half guard. We'll see what Jacare can do now. If he's going to just kind of keep him in half guard. Looking for the underhook, and it gives it, oh, he's got it, and he's able to get him back to their feet now. As now Jacare attempts a leg sweep, trip, rather. He's trying to put a Horn onto the ground. He does so. Jacare is left in the guard. Wow, that's, now Jacare is able to pepper him with small strikes, just making sure he keeps very tight and not give up any room to work with. Souza blocks Horn and tries to get enough separation to scramble up now, and allowing his opponent any room to work with submission-wise. Jacare Souza keeps him in close contact and throws some short, stinging strikes. Souza blocks Horn as he tries to sweep from the guard. Begins trying to pass guard and get better position. Advancing his position fairly easy. The pass is to side control. Throws a few strikes, but is clearly slowing things down so he can catch his breath, rather. As he blocks the attempt to pull guard, and there's now a minute left as Jacare attempts a Kimura. Horn defends himself well and is in no danger now as Horn is trying to move the guard, but Souza doesn't allow it. Souza pounds away on Horn, but few of the shots land clean. Tries to pull guard on Souza, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt. And yeah, I think your winner by unanimous decision will be Jacare Souza. Yep, making it 6-0. As Jeremy Horn just could not get that win. 46, 16, and 4 is his record. And Jacare Souza really solidifying that he's going to be a top contender, I think, in that middleweight division. Maybe not a top contender, but definitely like a top 15 guy, I think, for sure. As Jacare Souza thanks everyone connected Budokan Luta Livre for helping him prepare for the fight and his sponsors supporting him financially. As Jacare Souza says, it was a tough fight and gives a show of respect to Jeremy Horn. Down the Endless Warrior, Mitsuhiro Ishida taking on Jose Aldo. Can he do it? I mean, he's a plus 100 underdog, but I think he's got it. Even though Mitsuhiro Ishida is a little bit more heavier than him, Greco-Roman wrestler, I mean, that could be tough for Jose Aldo, but I believe in him. As Abiani Combat Club, Peresta for Mitsuhiro Ishida. Herb Dean's referee, minus 110 for Mitsuhiro Ishida. Ringside judges, roar from the crowd for Jose Aldo. Enters, as he's from around here, of course, as here we go, they touch gloves. Aldo connects with a nice jab and a leg kick. As Ishida looks like he's trying to get that grappling started, but I think that's just going to be a great job by Aldo. His stand-up ability is able to keep him from rushing in and trying to take him down. There's a left jab, but Ishida, again, avoids the low kick. That's the setup. Yeah, I mean, and there's another jab that's wide, but a powerful leg kick. Boy, oh boy. I mean, Aldo chopping down the tree that is Mitsuhiro Ishida here. Another leg kick that lands as he's missing all the strikes in it with a combo kick to the body, which that's a mistake that's probably going to give Ishida ready. Oh, he's able to catch that kick, too. Looking for maybe a takedown. Wow, he pulls his leg free. Back out of range there. As Aldo moves in closer, looking to open up an attack. Jab is wide from Aldo, and catches Ishida with a low kick to the front leg. A combo that ends with a leg kick fails to land for Jose Aldo. Now there's a combo that he can't connect with the jab and scores the right cross that lands hard. There's a jab and a crunching right hook. A jab and a cross. My God, now Ishida's limping now. Throws a punch, but Ishida was equal to it. Now he's able to grab him. Trying to muscle up against the ropes, but he doesn't let himself be driven back to Aldo. Trying to push him against the ropes again. He can't do it. Ends up being out-wrestled in the grapple. Now Aldo looking for the trip. Can't get him down. Looking for it a second time. Not able to get him down again. And then that's probably for the best. They'll just separate, and, Aldo's doing a great job standing so far. Might as well keep it going. If it's not broke, don't fix it. As there's a quick punch doesn't land. Starting to slow down as Aldo. Halfway point in the first. The combo that ends with a kick to the legs fails to land. And now that's going to give Ishida the opportunity he needs to clinch up with him. Can't do anything, though, out of the clinch. And now he finds himself being out-wrestled. Aldo looking for the sweep. Doesn't have it. Now using his wrestling skills again. Ishida trying to push him against the ropes. He's finally got him up against the ropes. Looking to go down low and grab both his opponent's legs here. Can't get him down either. Wow. Is trying to use some dirty boxing to get something going, but Ishida was aware of the danger, using his wrestling to prevent any danger from happening. Again, using his wrestling to nullify any potential damage. Goes for the ribs there, in the head with some short punches. Is Ishida. As Aldo trying to use some dirty boxing again against Ishida, but his opponent's wrestling skills prevent any damage from happening. Ishida using his wrestling skills to prevent Aldo from attacking with dirty boxing. Scores a few punches to the ribs. Aldo goes for the dirty boxing again, but Ishida is aware of the danger and using his wrestling to prevent any danger from happening. Now they're going to separate him with about a minute 20 left. Ishida moves in and out of range, hoping to tempt his opponent and wreck the strike here. Jab is wide from Aldo, then a destructive leg kick. Oh boy, he collapses to the ground. He just can't stand anymore as the fight is over. Jose Aldo with the leg kick win. Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking savage. What more can you say? 7-0. Taking out a top 10 guy in Mitsuhiro Ishida in the world. He's 11th in Pride, though. I mean, crazy. 7-0. Just a menace. A menace to society is Jose Aldo. Giving thanks, Jose Aldo praises his team at Abiani Combat Club. His very responsible all fans came out supportive. So our co-main event, Frank Shamrock versus Talis. Yatis has 14-3, 29-16-2 for Frank Shamrock, 5'10", 205, 6'1", 205. Submission fighting, kickboxing background for Frank Shamrock's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style of Talis. Has Lions Den, Budokan Luta Livre, minus 180, plus 140 for Talis. As, yeah, we'll see what happens with Frank Shamrock here. As Herb Dean's a referee, ringside judges. As Talis gets a good reaction from the fans, so he enters the arena. He's fighting from a home crowd tonight. See if he keeps the Brazilian train rolling. Only one Brazilian's lost tonight. As the two fighters touch gloves, they come together and clinch. They start wrestling. Talis seems to be the aggressor, looking to sweep him down into a leg trip. Can't get him, as now Shamrock instead wrestles his way into controlling the grapple. Trying to push him against the ropes. He does so. Now he's got him pinned, looking for a takedown here. That gets blocked, acting swiftly, pulling Shamrock back into a tight clinch against the ropes. And I'm looking for another takedown from Shamrock, but again, Talis is able to stop that as he yanks his leg free and circles out. Shamrock gets in close, trying to grapple with him. There's a knee strike to the body. Look at the muscle against the ropes again. Looking for the trip. Not happening, though. As he blocks it and then takes control of the grapple. And there's another nice knee strike to the body. Catches to the side of the stomach. As he attempts to pick him up for a slam, and he's got a slam. As Frank Shamrock slamming him down. As Shamrock ends up in guard, throws a few right hands to the body, trying to push Shamrock away, but he can't. Few relatively weak-looking right hands there, looking for an arm. Defends that well, looking to pass guard and side control. Finds himself unable to pass guard as Talis is able to get some separation again, trying to quickly scramble his way into a better position. It's a bad choice, though. Shamrock seizes the opportunity to leap forward and secure side control. Fires off with some punches as he's trying to catch his breath. Fires with punches, but Talis doesn't take any undue damage, trying to pull guard on Shamrock, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt, trying to pound away again, but all the blows are completely dealt with. Trying to move the guard, but Shamrock doesn't allow it. Fires off some punches now as he's trying to catch his breath. Talis tries to move the guard, but Shamrock doesn't allow it. Pounds away, but Talis is in trouble with the strikes again, trying to transition the guard, but can't manage it. Lengthy stalemate period results in the fighters being stood up by the ref. Come together and the same idea in the clinch. Talis is able to get down position in the clinch, looking for the trip. Shamrock blocks that to end out the round. Oh, Frank Shamrock. Dominating performance in Talis's debut. See what happens in the second here. Shamrock doesn't trouble his opponent with a combination thing with a low kick to the legs. Talis is able to grab him, trying to get a leg sweep here. Doesn't happen as Shamrock blocked it and now takes control of the grapple. Shamrock tries to wrestle Talis backwards up against the ropes. He can't do it though, as now struggling to leg sweep him. And he's got it. It's a great inside leg trip to see Shamrock get thrown to the mat. Some minor strikes now, some right hands to the body, looking for some type of leg lock here. It's actually a sweep, rather. I'm an idiot. As Talis defends the sweep as he throws a few weak-looking punches, decides his next move. Peppering on with small strikes again, keeps it very tight, not give up any room to work with. As I'm looking for another sweep again. That gets blocked again. Looking for it a third time. That gets blocked again. Minute left. Stalemate. They stand to back up. They start jockeying for position again in the clinch. As Talis is dominant position in the grapple now. Looking to get another trip. It's now a nice inside leg trip. As, I mean, that's just great. Just great for Talis to peppering with small strikes to end out the round. Still trying to get some type of sweep to end it out, but that's not happening. Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to answer back in the second. I mean, for sure, he completely dominated Frank Shamrock. See what happens in the third. As our final round here, there's a left hand and a right hook from Shamrock. As a jab hits home from Shamrock, then lands a nice right head kick. Now it's a big strike from Shamrock, that big right head kick. As Talis is in big trouble now, backing off. He's really unsteady on his feet. And there's another right head kick, and he knocks him down. Is now looking for the golden opportunity he needs to finish this fight off. Several big right hands that are hitting Talis, and there's some more right hands that are not taking much damage now. Trying to pull guard on Shamrock, doesn't get in with the attempt. Pounds away, but doesn't do much. Does minimal damage. Shamrock blocks Talis as he tries to transition the guard. Fires away the punches, does little in the way of damage. Blocks attempt to pull guard. Tries to pound on Talis, but none of the blows everything in degree of power. Tries to move the guard, but Shamrock doesn't allow it. Shamrock fires away with punches, does little in the way of damage, trying to move the guard, but Shamrock doesn't allow it. Pounds away, but Talis is in trouble with the strikes. Tries to transition the guard, but can't manage it. Minute left. Lack of progress being made. Herb Dean stands him up. Taking a few gulps of breath. Shamrock's given the first thing he's starting to tire a touch. So is Talis, though. As Shamrock is moving in closer, ready to attack. Throws a punch, but Talis is equal to it. As he's wanting to get a grappling started, but he's wary of the opponent striking, of course. Doesn't want to get knocked down again. Can't connect the sub strikes. There's the right hand, though. And there's a large gash above the eye there. There's a quick punch as a land, though. Talis looking for the takedown. He's got it. As there's 3 for 7 on takedowns. Not like it's going to matter. As Talis clings very tightly to Shamrock while using some short strikes. Clearly just trying to minimize the submission threat to end out the round. Your winner by unanimous decision should be Frank Shamrock, yeah. So to say, unless there's some highway robbery. So now, not one but two Brazilians losing in Brazilian Bushido 8. Now for our main event here as post-fight interview. Giving thanks Frank Shamrock for his team at Lions Den is very responsive to all the fans of Grambling Sport. He asked if he'd be interested in fighting next. He says he'll fight whoever they put in front of him, but he thinks Forrest Griffin would be a particularly good contest. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. Would be a pretty fun fight as our main event. Anderson the Spider Silva taking on Chuck the Iceman Liddell. Can the 38-year-old three-time middleweight champion beat the Spider? Or will Anderson Silva get the win? I mean, he does have the advantage. Minus 150 on the betting lines is Anderson Silva. 16-4-1, 20-7. Hawaiian Kimbo, Muay Thai background. Ouse Valley Tudo, the pit for Chuck Liddell. As we'll see what happens here. It's Pride middleweight title on the line. Mario Saki's our referee. Someone's gonna die. As our ringside judges, although they weighed in the same, obviously Chuck fighting more at a light heavyweight weight at like 215. As let's see what Chuck can do here. As Silva gets a good reaction from the fans as he enters the arena. He's fighting from a home crowd tonight. This fight begins. Liddell comes forward and the two fighters exchange strikes. Silva with the counter jab. A 1-2 from Liddell fails the land. As Liddell comes forward and the two fighters start trading blows. There's a left-hand exchange. There's 1-2 from Liddell that fails the land as Liddell stalks forward, pressuring Silva. Pair of jabs in exchange from Silva now. As there's a 1-2 from Silva, but Silva was equal to it. Rather, or Liddell was throwing the 1-2, but Silva was equal to it rather. As Liddell steps forward and a strike exchange begins. Silva tries the jab but misses. Liddell with a jab and Silva evades the big right. Silva comes in looking to strike. There's a spin kick from Silva. There's now a southpaw stance for Silva, trying to move in to strike. Doesn't connect with the left jab, but hits a left roundhouse kick to the body. Does Liddell, as Silva manages to connect with 3 punches out of a flurry, but misses the low kick. A stand tray blows. Neither fighter can land anything damaging though. Silva lets fly a verbal barrage of trash talking now as Liddell steps in, ready to. Liddell steps in. Jesus Christ. Liddell lets Silva step in, ready to counter, as Silva is off target with a jab and lands a low kick. As stepping in, Silva looks to engage. Silva scores the jab, also lands a spin kick. They come together and strike. Neither fighter can land anything damaging. Liddell lets Silva step in and ready to counter. Silva's off target with a right jab, but scores the spin kick to the ribs. Exchange of strikes happens right in the center of the ring. Neither fighter can land anything good, though, as Silva steps in, watched in all the way by Liddell, as he hits 2 out of the flurry of 3 punches, but the big left hand is blocked. Silva comes in looking to strike. There's a flurry of activity. Neither fighter can really land any telling strikes, though, as Silva steps in with the leg kick. Doesn't connect, though, as showing superb head move, bobbing and weaving his way past 2 punches from Anderson Silva. As a halfway point in the first now, moving forward, Liddell is standing ready as Silva looks to strike. Silva hits a jab, but doesn't connect with a leg kick. Liddell stands ready. Silva again moves in. There's a left cross from Liddell. Using a right jab and unleashes a superb head kick, and he knocks him out with the head kick. Anderson Silva, again, is the middleweight champion of the world. As what a win. I mean, it was pretty back and forth there for a while. It just took one crazy strike out of nowhere to end it. As 17-4-1 for Anderson Silva, 20-8 for Chuck Liddell. The 3-time champ no more. Maybe he'll make it 4-time champion before he hangs it up. But what a win for Anderson Silva. He thanks everyone connected to Ouse Valley Tudo for helping him prepare for the fight. His various sponsors for helping him financially. And he says that winning the Pride middleweight title is unbelievable. A great moment in his career. As a critical rating of 60, not great. The best thing was definitely Ronald, Subrall, and Chris Leben, which is interesting. But yeah, I mean, that was an interesting card. I think Frank and Talis probably shouldn't have been the co-main, but, you know, that's okay. I think as a whole, the show at least was successful, so at least we have that going for us. Yeah, definitely a performance rating for Silva. Probably one for Frank Shamrock as well. Also one for Jose Aldo. And, you know, Jacare Souza. So I'm trying to think. Oh, also Chris Leben, I guess. We're giving out a lot of performance bonuses. As, let's see how much money we're going to make now with that. Oh, we're still making $7 million. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that was pretty much well-deserved, giving a lot of guys, you know, that opportunity to make over $100,000. It's perfect. You know, and Anderson Silva was, you know, $500,000. It's not bad. Not bad at all. That's what happens when you're over $100 million, you know, worth as far as a company goes. You can start paying your fighters more. It's nice. It's a nice feeling. As yeah, thank everyone for watching this episode. As now we go on to what will be another worldwide taping. As the next kind of big event will be hopefully, we have our one more big event, and then the following big event, which hopefully will be enough time. It's after the American Bushido 18, it's the crowning of a champion. So hopefully all the girls are ready for that card. I haven't really looked and see how they're as far as if they're able to perform on that show. I haven't looked yet. Hopefully they can. It's still a couple of months away, so I think they should be fine. All the winners being able to perform in the tournament. As we'll catch you guys next time for Pride FC 20, or Pride FC Worldwide 20 rather, as Don Fry takes on Brock Lesnar, our main event. What a fight that will be. I am excited to see how that one turns out, as we'll catch you guys there. Take care, everyone.